Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have we have three men and a little lady. Literally 2 days after we saw the original, three men and a baby. I don't understand it either. I don't know how that worked out. It is completely random. If I would have done it on purpose, I would have just put them back to back. But in this case, yes, randomization works in our favor and gets us the first one before the second one for once. Usually I get the second one or third one before the original, as we've seen with Teen Beach and the High School Musical movies. Haven't seen the first one yet. Seen the other two, but oh well. Anyway, we're here to talk about Three Men and a Little Lady. This is a sequel, 1990. It's an hour and 43 minutes long. This is only filmed 3 years after the original, which was in 1987. But 5 years have passed since the first one. Mary is now 5 years old. She's right there, not the doll. She's 5 years old. She's about to go off to school, either like preschool or kindergarten. I don't know what you go into when you're five, but I'm not experienced in these things. So yeah, she's five, and everybody's still living together. As we know, if you watch the first one, her mom has moved in, and all four adults share this house with this little lady, and they raise her together. And the opening sequence is once again in double speed. I thought that was a decision made by director Leonard Nimoy at the time, but I have a feeling now that it might be more of a direct reference to the original film, which I have not seen. It's a French film, and the name escapes me because it is in French. But yeah, they sort of tell you the story of her growing up from the last film to the current day, and just in double speed, and there's no dialogue. You get to see their trials and tribulations and how they just enjoy potty training her and just being dads, being cool, fun dads. Yes, it's more of the nice, fun stuff rather than the trials of just her screaming nonstop because she's upset as babies are. So yeah, it's they tell you basically their entire last 5 years story in the first few minutes during the credits while a pop song plays. A very 80s light pop song. And so yeah, but from that point on, we get to see what the adults' relationship is like to each other. Believe it or not, you'd think that maybe they would have tried to normalize this relationship by having Ted Dance's character, who is Mary's real father, hook up with Nancy Travis's character, being mom and dad again. But they didn't do that. And actually that causes a little bit of trouble because when they go in so that she can get accepted to a very prestigious prestigious primary school, the best. Of course, they don't take anything weird or they don't like unconventional families. They like to think they're progressive, but they're a school. So when they find out that it's Mary has one mom and three dads living with her, it's not something they figure it's weird. That's the nice way to put it. In one case, later in the film, somebody does refer to what they have as a commune. No, it's just an unconventional setup. People happen to be living together as adults, but nobody's married. And yes, Mary wonders that herself, especially once she gets to school and learns that most people don't have three dads. Some people have two dads, but they only get to see them on alternating weekends, because mommy got remarried. So yeah, it's what sort of everybody starts freaking out as Mary gets to be, I don't know, it shows that she's growing up and she's not insulated and always in the house with three daddies and mommy. Now she starts talking to other kids, and for some reason, one of her first questions when they're out for dinner, out in Central Park, or out for lunch one afternoon, and she goes, "What's a penis?" So yeah, that makes everybody very uncomfortable, and it shows it freaks them out. So yeah, it's a they're at a new breaking point. Things are starting to change. They have house rules where you're not allowed to have women over when Mary's in the house, and Mary's usually always in the house, so it's kind of difficult for these men to get on with their lives. But it's a sacrifice they're happy to make because they love Mary so much, and that is absolutely 100% evident. It's one of the most endearing things about this film and the previous one, is to show that these guys truly embrace the idea of being a dad to a child that's not except for one of them, not their own. So it's actually one of the most sweetest moments is the fact that they've connected so well. Is that Nancy Travis's character Sylvia, when they're in for the interview to make a case for their unconventional family, she gives such an endearing speech as to why these guys are so great and make great fathers. It's a little bit. It's very endearing. It's super sweet, I have to admit. But yeah, it's I don't want to give away too much here because honestly, yes, this movie, spoilers, because I'm mentioning Sylvia, because I'm mentioning the mom, and they all live together. Yes, I've now given away the end do 3 men and a baby. But what they set up in that film, in literally the last half hour, after the main heroin dealing storyline is dealt with, the big deal is, hey, what happens if mom comes back and wants the baby? And they resolve it. And she's ready to take Mary, and then she comes back. So in this case, though, they expand upon that by making that same situation a reality. She's a British actor, even though Nancy Travis is like from New York and does not have a British accent. I checked. She does a light Mary Poppins accent, and she's an actress just like Ted Danson is an actor, and that's how they got to know each other, and that's how they made a baby. She gets hooked up with her director, and he gets an opportunity to go back to England, and he wants to cast her in a big production. And so she's given the opportunity to go back to New York. And even though she's like, I can't do that to Mary, she's just starting school, and the guys would miss her, she'd be separated from them, and that'd be horrible. But as tensions start to rise in the house, in the fantastic, crazy expensive apartment, she's like, maybe I should just go. And well, there's also one other thing. One of the guys actually is falling in love with her, and she's kind of has the hots for him too. Can they be honest with each other? Well, let's just say no, not exactly, because she goes to England and she takes Mary with her. Not a big surprise. It's right there in the description. It's probably in the trailer. What leads to a big ticking clock farce. Like the last movie had the race to the airport. This one is a race to the wedding chapel. And as everybody works together to try to delay the wedding and allow the one man, one of the daddies, to finally come to his senses and confess his love for Sylvia, allowing their family to somehow come together. Well, yes, there's mistaken, let's just say there's people who are misled into thinking that one of the men loves her or loves a certain woman. Yeah, there's just sort of, again, it's misunderstandings, it's farcical, it's just wackiness, and in somewhat British ways. But actually, what I realized is that and it gets so farcical that there's actually like somebody has to put on makeup and prosthetics in order to disguise himself as somebody else. So yes, it's really overdone in some ways. Unlikely that this would ever happen in real life. But it's goofy and it's fun, but it's also a really big drama. It's kind of really well acted drama. It's not, no, it's not Oscar bait. It's a goofy comedy that has dramatic elements. And by the way, the one of the best things about this thing is Mary herself. The girl, obviously, I don't think it's the same actor. It's not the same actor who plays Mary, because only one girl plays her. And in fact, when she was a baby in the first film, it was twins. She's really good. You know how kid actors are? They're usually have to shoot around them. You get them to say lines, you get them to react to things, and then you cut. And then you have the professional actor that they're interacting with say their lines, and then they cut, and then they go back and forth. Watch the first Harry Potter movie. While Daniel Radcliffe has grown into a great comedic and dramatic actor, that first movie, I will tell it to his face, he was crap. Okay? They shot around him so much. Just watch him in almost any scene with Dumbledore, and this kid's like 10 or 11 at this point. This little girl's maybe 5, 6. But he's 10 or 11. He had the look of Harry Potter, but he is not a good actor in the first movie. He probably will agree with me. I don't think he's an ass about it, but they edit around him so much in Harry Potter, but he has grown tremendously since then. But yeah, in this case, this little girl hits her mark. She has a believable eye line with the actors that she's interacting with, and she says her lines, and it's banter. It actually goes back and forth, and she's well timed on her delivery and everything. It's a believable delivery. Like, she's just not reciting lines. She's good. And she honestly maybe did 3 more things her entire life after this, which is sad, because I think she was a tremendous little actress. Maybe that was the lightning that was only ever going to strike once, and it was never going to be a thing that she would grow up to doing. I hope she's living a wonderful life, but in whatever she chose to do. But she knocked it out of the park in this one. I think she is tremendous, and it's one of the great strengths of this film. Like I said, it's not Oscar bait. It's not the best film in the world, but I kind of like it more than the original. Sorry, Leonard. It's it's each have their strengths, but I think the banter, the dialogue between a lot of between the 3 guys, it shows they act like real friends. They have realistic dialogue. But they're also super they look like they're having a good time. I hope they did. And Nancy Travis, a little bit of a crush on Nancy Travis, even from So I Married an Axe Murderer. She's got this tremendous big 90s hair, like early 90s hair. But add the British accent, and she's not hard to look at. So, but she's always got this wonderful smile, and her eyes, I just love her eyes. So that's me. Sorry. I'm getting weird now. Sorry. So yeah, that's really all I can really say about this. I think this is, if you watched the first one and liked it, I know some people might crap on this one. Like, it's not the one. Don't expect it to be the same movie. It's a goofy farce, especially the last part. It's a bit of a drama at first, with strange comedic bits in the beginning, but it wraps up as you would expect. It is a happy ending. True love prevails. That's all I can really say. True love prevails. So, and a family is maintained. If you want more of this kind of movie, if you want another 3 Men and a Baby movie, well, guess what? I said this yesterday on this Inspector Gadget review, which I forgot to say during the 3 Men and a Baby review. They're making another one. They're doing a remake, actually, with Zac Efron for Disney Plus. So sooner or later we'll be watching that movie, and I'll be talking about it there. So hey, I can bet you money, though, it will be a bit more diverse than 3 middle-aged dudes and a baby. There's going to be a black guy, and then one of the guys is going to be gay. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. Nothing wrong with that. That's just the way it is, representation. But yeah, I'm betting it's going to be a bit more diverse in issues and everything else. So deal with that. If you can't handle it, maybe you shouldn't watch it. But I don't know anything for sure. All I just know is Zac Efron's in it. So, all right, I think I hit all the. I kept notes this time. I hope you noticed I didn't notice too much that I was staring at the screen. I wasn't distracted. I was just checking. Let's see what tomorrow's show will be. Come on. All right, here we go. Let's pick tomorrow's episode.
729.
Oh, I still have it hooked up to the Bluetooth speaker. 729. Let's see what we got. This is really far up there. We're just really sticking in the 700s a lot now. 729. We're getting so close to rebooting this list coming October 1st. Oh, we already saw 729, and so we won't get this kind of situation we're dealing with here, which is stuff we've already watched. Under the Sea. Yep, that was what it was. Under the Sea. Let's pick another one.
89.
89. Alright, I didn't have time to take that off the Bluetooth. That's just not going to be happening. Oh, 89. You know what? We haven't had... Have we had... I don't know when the last time we had a proper MCU Marvel film. Yeah. But guess what, kids? We're going to be watching Captain America, the Winter Soldier. So, hey, by the way, beyond Guardians, the original Guardians of the Galaxy, maybe it's Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Between this one and Guardians of the Galaxy, I think I've seen both of them about 100 times due to a certain job I had where I had to watch movies over and over again and make sure they worked on a certain streaming online service I won't name. But yeah. It wasn't Disney Plus. Anyway, I'll see you back here tomorrow with Captain America the Winter Soldier on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. See you then. Bye.